Guys, I said 5 minutes before. YouTube changed how things go, and I really wanted to do this video about Nipsey Hussle and the murder conspiracy. I think it's really important that people understand what happened, what I think happened, my theory. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my camera to the computer in a minute. But first, I want to just welcome everybody to my channel. If this is your first time watching, what I do is basically take a look at everything that's been laid on the table and then tell you what I think. So this is my first Hustle video. Since its passing, I definitely watched a lot of channels, a lot of people's work that they put in regards to the videotapes, the witness statements. I've downloaded the court documents, and there's been some more developments that have come out from people that are close to him that I want to review. So the first thing that I want to say in this video is I don't think the suspects that we've been presented with are the culprits. I don't believe all the hype about Big U. I don't believe all the hype about the people that were in his inner circle. I've watched psychics. I've spent hours with Coffee and Kush watching rewinds of the videotape. Um, I've crept over to the Rolling 60s YouTube accounts to watch their cookouts and their live videos to see, what the vibe is down there. And from what I've seen, I just don't believe that they had any involvement in Nipsey Hussle's murder. I think that Big U and Nipsey, even though they had a falling out, they're still family. They still have very close connections. They're still, have a long history together. They used to get money together. They're in a gang together. So it's a different type of brotherhood. Like, people fight all the time. That doesn't mean you want somebody dead. Um, I haven't seen a big expression of grief or sadness, but people process in different ways. They weren't on the best terms when he died, so, it would be kind of fake to, cry in the camera at this point. So I watched the videos. I didn't get the vibe. I seen a little sneak diss. Um, he looked a little paranoid and uncomfortable, actually. If you notice, he didn't stay out there very long with those guys. It was like, I'm in, I'm out, I'm going to take a few pictures, and then you can look at my Mercedes. I'm about to ride off. So I don't know. I don't get the vibe that he did it. And I definitely don't think that Nipsey was scared of him or felt like he would hire extra security for him. I feel like he knew where this guy was, he knew who he is, and if there was any drama or if he wanted to deal with him, they could have easily done so. So I just don't think that's what we're dealing with. I think that um, it's easy for the media to spin things in a certain direction for their own agenda. And I think that because they had a fight that was public and in the news, it's easy just to say, oh, yeah, you had a fight with him, so you wanted him dead or whatever. But I don't think that he wanted him dead. I don't think he was that jealous. There's been a lot of rappers that have come up out of Compton. He's Nip's not the only one with money, flossing around there. So I don't think that's what it is. Um, I just don't. But I'm going to tell you what I do think it is. And I don't think it's the inner circle people, the Karen and David. I just don't think that Nipsey would deal with those types of people. Um, I don't think he would do business with people that were snakes. And I think that he had a lot of wisdom and was a lot smarter than what people give him credit for. I've heard people say, oh, he doesn't know business and this and that. I don't think that's the case at all. I think he was very strategic and he did know business. And I think that he was making big moves. And I think that there's a lot more powerful people that are involved with the computer. And I want to show you why I believe what I believe, okay? So I'm going to, how do we do this? Let me think. We're going to some kind of way flip this around. Can we do this? Okay. This is how we used to do it, if you guys remember. Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm just going to show my computer screen like this. Let me see. Okay. Okay, I think you guys can see it pretty good. This is as good as it's going to get. I'm going to figure out how to share it the right way, but I just figured out today that YouTube changed some things. Okay, so the setup is real. You guys should see it. But we gotta, we gotta make it work, you know? You can't just get frustrated and quit. Okay, hold on. This little clip keeps popping up. And I'm gonna win this war with this clip. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, chatters. Okay. So this is the first article that I want to go over with you guys. So it says Nipsey Hussle posted a chilling, I hate these little pop-ups. Okay. So it says Nipsey Hussle posted a chilling final tweet about strong enemies before being shot dead outside in LA on the day he was due to meet with cops about gang violence. So I think this is a major clue. The clue is the strong enemies tweet. I don't believe that Nipsey would have considered Big U a strong enemy. I don't believe that Nipsey would have considered Eric Holder Jr., the person who's on trial for his murder. I don't believe that he would have considered him or his gang of people, all the shitty cousins of the world. I don't think he considered them, quote, strong enemies. Okay? The second clue, he was due to meet with cops. I do believe that Nipsey would have considered the cops, the LAPD, quote, strong enemies. Think about it. Okay? Gangs don't really respect, you know, a lot of people. Okay? All the other gangs are suckers to them. Anybody who's against them is a sucker to them. But they do respect the police, right? I do think that he would consider the LAPD strong enemies. So this is the first clue, okay? But they, of course, swept that under the rug. What we seen following the incident was LAPD come out and say that they were going to have a meeting and they were so sorry. And I felt that officer that was speaking, but I believe that they put probably the most decent officer that they had up there in front of the public. And I don't think that he's a good representation of LAPD. And I'm going to show you why I'm saying that in a second, okay? So this article just goes and shows what was happening before Nipsey Hussle was shot, okay? And we're not going to read this article because we have other articles to get to and I don't want to keep you all day. But this is a photo that he took with his fans a few hours before he was shot. And this was in the parking lot, okay, on that Sunday. So this is him with his fan. And let's go down. These are images of the crime scene. We're just going to connect the dots here, okay? And then this is the post about having strong enemies is a blessing. Nipsey posted a cryptic message on Twitter about his enemies just as, how are you hours before you're dead in the parking lot taking pictures with your fans But also at the same time, you're tweeting having strong enemies is a blessing. Those two things don't go together, right? So something was happening in that parking lot when he was taking pictures with his fans to make him post this tweet. I believe that he was being stalked by the LAPD. I believe he was outside and he's seen their activity, and that's why he posted having strong enemies is a blessing. This is just my theory, but I'm going to keep proving it to you, okay? So let me see. Hopefully this thing doesn't fall again. Need to get to this next one. Hang on. Okay. Did it go? Oh, you know what? This website is really corrupted. So I'm pretty sure this is the website that I downloaded on a PDF just in case it cuts off on us, okay? So this is the article that prompted me to make this video. This just came out a few hours ago, earlier this morning. This is by allhiphop.com, and it says Nipsey Hussle's business partner confirms LAPD conspired to destroy the rapper. Okay. Nipsey Hussle's business partner, David A. Gross, also has some receipts. Nipsey Hussle's business partner has come forward with a shocking claim that the Los Angeles Police Department is engaged in a conspiracy to ruin the rapper's empire. A campaign of harassment allegedly started after Nipsey and his business partner, David A. Gross, teamed up to purchase what housed the rapper's Marathon clothing store and several other businesses. Tragically, Nipsey was shot and killed in the parking lot of the Marathon clothing store on March 31st. Okay. On April 11th, the city of Los Angeles rolled out the blue carpet for the rapper during the celebration of life at the Staples Center, along with a 25-mile funeral procession. So many people were shocked when documents leaked to the media confirming Nipsey was under investigation just as he prepared to meet with the police about improving community relations. Okay, see, I told you this was gonna go out. Yeah, this happened before when I was on this website. Um, but it's okay because I I got it on PDF form. My history to find it, and just about every time I've tried to click on it, the article shuts down. So, you know, if you're interested, go there and save the article before it's completely erased. Oh, now it says I can't open my own PDF. Wow. That's crazy. Okay. Let's try to get it before it's down again. Okay. So David says, it was embarrassing and a slap in the face when they started trying to press me to evict the store, only to find out that I'm partners with Nip, Sam, and all came at me. and then sent the cops at me, and ultimately tried to leverage the press against me by leaking documents and emails to the New York Times to smear us and make our ownership of the lot seem like a problem, David A. Gross fumed. Are you catching this? They threatened him with the police. This is a court matter. This is a civil matter. This is just property stuff. Why would they be threatening him with the police? Okay? This is intimidation tactics by the LAPD. Okay? According to Gross, the pressure from the cops and the negative press is making it hard to do business and has ruined several deals. What did I tell you? Media spinning things in a certain direction. This is what he's trying to expose. They're trying to railroad Nipsey and his empire. This system is mindless, heartless, relentless machine designed to keep us locked into some systems, jails and courts, and out of others, crazy and conspiratorial only because it is, David A. Gross said. Okay. He tried to post his receipts, but looks like Instagram took them down, or maybe they've been removed. Now, what I want to show you next, this is coming from Nipsey's business partner. We haven't heard from his brother. His brother is still grieving and hasn't done any interviews. I don't even know who David did that interview, or if he was talking directly to the hiphop.com. Hang on, now my computer's freezing on me. Okay, there's just a few more things that I want to show you because I don't think I've made a believer out of you all just yet. So just give me a second. Okay. So now we're going to do a little page unresponsive. I'm having so many issues today with my computer. Okay, so now we're going to do a little history lesson. I'm going to show you. Hold on. Let me close my my window so that the light doesn't. Uh-oh. My blinds then fell over. Hang on. I think this is a little better for the light, if you can see my computer better. Help. I don't think there's anything else I can do. Okay. So I'm going to draw things. It's already in the Word document, so it's going to be easy if you want to go behind this and read it after me. But what I want to do is I want to take you through LA, and I want to talk a little bit about LAPD because a lot of people just can't believe that, you know, the police officers could be involved in something like this, okay? So I want to talk about the Rampart scandal. This is a very well documented scandal that, of course, a lot of media outlets didn't pick up because it involves police corruption. But this is going to show you what task forces against street hoodlums, the acronym is CRASH, anti-gang unit of Los Angeles Police Department's Rampart Division in the late 1990s. More than 70 police officers, either assigned to or associated with the Rampart Crash Unit, were implicated in some form of misconduct, making it one of the most widespread cases of documented police corruption in history. Responsible for a long list of offenses, including unprovoked shootings. This is assassinations. This is murdering people. This is documented that the Los Angeles Police Department officers were involved in unprovoked shootings. beatings, planting of false evidence, stealing and dealing narcotics. Okay, this is selling drugs to the gangs. Okay, bank robbery. All right, that was the famous case. Okay, perjury, and the covering up of evidence in these activities. That's the police department that we're talking about. Okay, these are the Rampart investigation, based mainly on statements of admitted corrupt crash officer Rafael Perez, initially implicated over 70 officers of wrongdoing. Of those officers, enough evidence was found to bring 58 before an internal administrative board. However, only 24 were actually found to have committed any wrongdoing, with 12 given suspensions of various lengths, 7 forced elimination or retirement, and 5 terminated. So imagine that these people that were out there assassinating people, unprovoked shootings, okay, resigned and retired. Hello. Okay, a few of them were terminated. As a result of the probe into falsified evidence and police perjury, 106 prior criminal convictions were overturned. Wow. The scandal resulted in more than 140 civil lawsuits against the city of Los Angeles, California, costing the city an estimated $125 million in settlements. Okay. As of 2009, the full extent of the Rampart corruption is not known, and several rape, homicide, and robbery investigations involving Rampart officers remain unsolved. I have something else that I want to show you, but I do want to just go over this. So this is a timeline of the scandal. It talks about different officers doing different things, and these were the ones that were actually prosecuted and their names dragged through the media. So these were the scapegoats. I hope my camera's focusing. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to read one story, okay? This is one of the popular stories. Around 4 p.m. on March 18, 1997, LAPD undercover Frank Liga shot and killed Rampart crash officer Kevin Gaines, popular Kevin Gaines, in self-defense following a case of apparent road rage. According to Liga and other witness testimonies, Gaines pulled his green Mitsubishi up to Liga's Buick and flashed gang signs. So the police officer was in a whole gang. Okay, he followed the guy, showed him his gun, and then, that's when they had the shooting. Okay. Now, Liga reported that Gaines was the first to pull in self-defense. In my training experience, this guy had "I'm a gang member" written all over him. Inside of Gaines' car, a Death Row's greatest hit CD was found as he was listening to Death Row. Okay, I hope I'm still there. Okay, in the ensuing investigation, the LAPD discovered that Gaines had apparently... So they don't want me to talk, I think. The investigation also revealed that Gaines was associated with both the Death Row Records label and its investigators learned that Death Row Records, which was alleged to be associated with the Blood Street gangs, was hiring off-duty LAPD officers to serve as security guards. All right, so you make those connections. LAPD, gangs, Death Row Records. Who else be mentioning Suge Knight, Death Row Records? Big U and all of them, right? LAPD, Nipsey Hussle. Okay, so this is a small circle we're talking. We're talking about Compton, a neighborhood. Okay, so this is an older article, but this is like the one time when they got caught. There's not much that people can do about LAPD. I mean, they've been doing this for a long, long, long time. This was 20 years ago, and they haven't been stopped. And even before this, you know, we've had the Rodney King riot, and, you know, all these, we had riots, and there's just so much history with LAPD. And, I mean, they're crazy. I mean, you remember this guy? Let me see. Hold on. You remember this guy? Hold on. Let me show you something. Here you go. It reminded me of this guy. Remember him? Crazy man. Christopher Dorner. He was LAPD. This is the type of people that they hire. This is the type of people that they hire and have policing us. Okay? And you know, even the good officers, they can't even speak up and do much about what's going on because it's a system. Okay? Now, some of you are like, what are you talking about? I'm going to show you a more recent article. And I'm going to show you, this article is specifically about Compton, not necessarily just LAPD. Okay? So let's go to this article. It says it's more than 11 months old. Okay. Police violence, cliques, and secret tattoos. Fears rise over LA sheriff gangs. You're like, what is a LA sheriff gang? All right, they're about to tell us. This is their little tattoo, I guess. Okay, John Sweeney knew from his 4 decades as a civil rights lawyer that something about the police shooting of Donta Taylor was off. Okay, he's a 31-year-old African American, shot a dozen times. Civil rights lawyer Johnny Cochran was involved. The police claimed that Taylor had been wearing gang colors. Compton was the birthplace, but no gun was found. Okay, it says they stopped him for no reason. He had gone to buy a Sprite and a single cigarette. There's no reason for the police to shoot him. Okay, now, Sweeney later learned that the same 2 officers had delivered a savage beating to another young black man in Compton a few months earlier. This is Compton police. This is who Nipsey was up against. When he said he had strong enemies, this is who he was talking about. Okay? These people that run around with their badges unchecked and unsupervised in LA. All right? So Sheldon had been standing with his friend outside his godmother's house in broad daylight when, according to witnesses, the officers showered him with racial abuse, repeatedly used a taser on him, and shoved a nightstick into an eye socket, causing him permanent damage. Okay? Again, the officers claim to have seen a gun. Again, no gun was ever found. Okay. So these people don't play fair. Then came the moment of truth. At a deposition hearing in May, Sweeney asked one of them, spent 5 minutes struggling to give an answer. At first, he said he did have this maybe slowing me down, but I'll figure this out. Okay, so then it says, next he asked Sweeney if next Sweeney asked Aldama's the officer, okay? He asked him if he had a tattoo. After some hesitation, Aldama showed an elaborate image on his cap of a frightening skeletal figure wielding a rifle. Between 10 and 20 deputies at the Compton station had the same tattoo. Pause right here. How do the police identify gang members? The tattoos, of course, okay? So let's back this up and make sure everybody understands. The civil rights guy asked the officers if he had any tattoos. After some hesitation, the officer put an elaborate image on his calf of a frightening skeletal figure wielding a rifle between 10 and 20 at Compton Station had the same tattoo he acknowledged. Okay? The civil rights guy hadn't known about the tattoo in advance, but he did know that the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department had a history, I told you we're going to take a history lesson, history of violent gang-like cliques that glorify violence for its own sake and pressure deputies to break the rules so they can prove their bona fides and earn their ink in the form of just such hidden tattoos. Earn their ink. You got to break the rules basically to get these tattoos. So basically, just like a regular gang, these officers have to be initiated and go out there and kill people for no reason to get these tattoos and join this police gang in Compton. This is all in black and white. Everybody knows about this. This is public record. This goes all the... I think the FBI is scared of them. I think the FBI is scared that they'll get shot. They pop up in fucking LA, okay? This revelation wasn't just a Perry Mason moment in court. It has jolted civic leaders in Los Angeles just a few years after an epic scandal in which sheriff deputies supported and protected by senior officers up to the sheriff himself were found to have engaged in systematic beatings of prisoners, helped smuggle drugs and other contraband in and out of jail on behalf of the white power gang leaders, and worked to conceal aspects of the scandal from the FBI. Huh. Who's surprised? A lot of us aren't surprised. A lot of us just needed to be reminded, okay? Because the media will have us spinning all off in different directions, talking about all these people when it's right here in front of us, okay? These people have a long history of doing things like this. Okay. The current boss of what's America's largest county police department has ordered an internal investigation into what he called renegade cliques, okay, and insisted that despite an official finding by the district attorney's office last year in favor of that same officer, okay, the gang officer with the tattoo and all that, Aldama, the Compton incidents are still being investigated. So we know what that means. It's not going to go anywhere, okay? So this has done little to satisfy critics, another civil rights leader, of course, and this is an issue. It says this goes a whole lot higher up in the Compton station. The captain claims he didn't know. These officers change from their civilian clothes into their uniforms in the locker room every day. And you're going to tell me that up to 20 people have the tattoo and it's not going to raise questions? Of course they knew about it. Okay. This person says, why does it are you guys, I'm almost done. Let me see. Do you guys have any comments? Let me look at my chat. Okay. Okay, I'm pretty sure we're still live. Okay, so all that to say, the case with Eric Holder Jr., I believe is not going to hold up for a lot of reasons. Nothing about, first of all, the witness is not credible. The girl is not credible. The girl witness that they gave immunity to is not credible. And her story is not going to hold up in court because she's a liar. The first lie, she drove 40 minutes to go buy a hamburger. A $5 hamburger. Not to go sit at a restaurant and have a hamburger. She drove 40 minutes to go buy a little $5 hamburger. Now, you got to think, 40 minutes there, that means 40 minutes back. So you mean to tell me you're going to do this 80-minute drive for a hamburger? So she's not telling everything. Okay? She's not credible. They're going to ask her a few questions, and then her shit's going to get thrown out because she's a liar. Okay? Supposedly, Eric Holder Jr. murdered Nipsey with 2 guns. 2 guns. So he was like, boom, 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 boom. Who does that? No. Technology is too good. You don't need no 2 guns. And this girl wants us to believe that she didn't see him leave with the 2 guns, and she didn't see him jump back in the car with these 2 hot guns, and where are the guns? And it doesn't make sense, okay? The video is not clear enough. There's just so many reasons why this thing is just going to fall apart. And that lawyer that he had got, I forget his name. Let me look it up real quick. Okay, let me see. What's this guy's name? Chris Darden. Okay. Yeah. I don't think that for him to defend to defend Eric Holder Jr. so quickly and jump in like he did, I think he's seen something. He's seen an easy win. I think he looked at that evidence and he's seen like that's not going to hold up, you know? Also, the other witnesses that were there, their stories have been changing. So I don't know how credible some of these people are. And I don't know how clear the other videos are. Hopefully they're better than what they showed us, okay? But something is not right about that case. And there's a lot that's not right about how the case was handled and investigated. And this is my first video about Nipsey Hussle, but I have downloaded the paperwork and we are going to get into how this case was investigated, okay? And who investigated this case. Because what we can't do is have Compton PD investigating Compton PD stuff, because that just don't make no sense, okay? The main thing, the theory about what bad, but I am going to tell you why I think they did this. I believe Nip enemies, the LAPD. I think Nipsey was going to meet with their boss. I think Nipsey set up a meeting with the boss. And I think those officers, that's why they killed him. Just a theory. This is just my initial theory, okay? But think about it. Nipsey was in a gang, very well-known gang, very well-respected. People are saying that Big U had some affiliation with the police, which means that when Nipsey was with Big U, he had some affiliation with the police, okay? So they all know how things work because they're all in the streets, okay? So I don't know how much you're in the streets, but the guys in the streets, they know when it's sweep day, like they know when it's paddy wagon day, like they know like the police schedule, they know who's on, they know like Saturday is this day, or you know, like, because out here we had corrupt officers too, and there would be certain days where there would just be like nobody on the street because everybody knew like those are the days that they're going to be coming. So they all know the inner workings of each other. And I think that Nipsey was going to expose them because the LAPD has a lot to do with the gang violence in Compton. And I think he wanted it to stop. Okay. Now, that's what I believe. We're going to get into it in my next video as far as the paperwork, and I'm going to point out, who said what and what looks right and what doesn't. But I did want to leave on. Oh, wait, I think there's. Okay, I guess there's two more things I wanted to show you. If we're still there, can somebody comment and let me know if we're still even here? Because I can't even see my chat, so I don't even know. Oh, okay, hold on, I see chats. Hold on, I see chats. Okay, hey everybody. Hello. Vanessa, Mac, oh, love you too. Okay. All right, so your comment says that your son was murdered and you have no paperwork or autopsy. Tell me what I need and soon. That's serious. Um, the police is corrupt. Do you think eyewitness terrified of LAPD? Hell yeah, they terrified. I'm scared. I'm not even in LA. I'm scared. I'm scared of PD. I think the FBI is scared of the LAPD. I think everybody's scared of the LAPD. I just showed you Christopher Dorner. They hire psychos. Okay. So, yeah, I think everybody's scared of the LAPD. Okay, so I'm going to turn my camera back around again because there's a few more things that go with this video. Okay, so we're gonna go back here. Let's push this back down. Okay, this is another article that I found. Push it up a little bit. Okay, it says, after decades of problems, new allegations surface of secret clique within LA County Sheriff's Department. And this is from July 10th, 2018. And let me think, Nipsey was, I think, killed like in March. So this wasn't even a year. This wasn't even a full year before Nipsey was murdered. Okay, so this is a picture of the same gang logo that we've seen earlier. You know what? Let me see if I could blow this up a little bit. Okay, I think hopefully that's better. Okay, so this is a picture of the same gang tattoo of the Compton Police Department people. So this is, it says LA County Sheriff's Deputy Samuel Aldama admitted in a lawsuit that he has this tattoo calf associated with the Compton State. You guys are still there. Nearly 30 years ago, accusing deputies of running in the Linwood station. Others followed with names such as the Regulators, Grim Reapers, Rattlesnakes, and the Jump Out Boys. Inside the county central jail, the 2000. Now, despite past attempts by the sheriff's official to discourage internal cliques, fresh allegations have arisen in the deputies in the department's Compton station, adorned with matching skull tattoos. Okay, so so I'm gonna drop the link to this too. Says the controversy focuses on the deposition by the deputy Samuel Aldama. Okay, Aldama described a tattoo on his calf as a skull with a rifle and a military-style helmet with flames around it. On the helmet are the letters CPT for Compton. He got the tattoo June 2016. Okay? Um, so this just goes into more of the culture in the Compton department. So I'm going to drop the link to that. And then there's one more thing I want to show you. So as I was looking around for all these other things, I found that kind of, and this is kind of where I want to end the video. And so this article that I ran across is called 21 Startling Photos of Gangs in Los Angeles During the 80s and 90s. And these photos just give you an insight as to the type of environment that we're talking about when we talk about LA and gang culture, Compton, etc. And before I show you these photos, I just want to say, you know, I don't like gangs. I don't believe in gangs. I'm not in a gang. Um, and I think it's just, you know, sad that we worship celebrities who encourage our children to join gangs. Um, I think it's sad that more women are joining gangs and going to prison because of their gang involvement and being murdered, etc. Um, I think that we should come together and organize ourselves. I think that there is a benefit to hustling together, working together, sisterhoods, brotherhoods. I think that we do need a code, we do need rules, but to go. So I want to say that before I show you. And, you know, I hope that, you know, if you are in a gang or you glorify this type of lifestyle or you promote people that are involved with this type of stuff, that you reconsider after you look at some of these pictures, okay? So again, this says 21 startling photos of gangs in Los Angeles during the 80s and 90s. So it says members of the Great Street Crips stage a mock execution with a preschooler. Again, these are children. Kids again in Watts throwing up gang signs. This is a girl gang in Long Beach. This is another gang. Notice he's disabled in a wheelchair. He's probably due to gang violence. This is a woman posing with funeral flyers from deceased Great Street Crip. Proceeds from crack sales. 13-year-old female gang member beaten by her clique. Okay, I'm not going to go through all these pictures, but I want you to click on this and take a look. And this is the lifestyle that you're promoting when you promote gangs and gang violence. At some point, you're supposed to grow out of all of that, you know? Be a man, be a real woman. Okay, so I'm going to end the video